on the defense of Volskaya when you're playing around those health pack areas where you will be able to get, I'll give you a little bit of stats here, math talk, chap. You get 250 health from a mega health pack. If it's hacked, it respawns in 4 seconds. That equals 62.5 healing per second if you keep picking it up with maximum efficacy. That's more than a Mercy can provide from your DPS, who's still out doing damage as well.
So you camp in the health pack is what you're saying?
Yes, you can camp the health pack if that is what you want to do, but it looks like Shadow currently he's weighing up his options with Brigitte, and we've seen this from him before, the old 3-2-1, or in this case it could be a... We're definitely going to have a change there from Ripper. Probably going to be a Goat comp. I didn't notice it was Ripper on the Widowmaker.
Yeah, Ripper probably going to switch. Yes, I mean Shadow.
He can shoot heads, but I think he's better at doing it on the Zenyatta.
Oh yes, yes he is. He got quite a few kills actually. Quite a frag in Zenyatta. Something like Ding would do on Flames as well. So Zenyatas can be fairly scary, but it does look like it's going to be a 3-3 Harry. Shadow jumping over to the Brigitte, IQ so adequately put, and hardest as well on that Widowmaker and Leaper there too. So double sniper versus Leaper. And
they are going to be incredibly safe behind the permanent shield that Super Flute can put down for them. It's got 900 HP and is released can be refreshed incredibly quickly. So if your snipers want to stay in a singular position and stay behind that shield, they can be very safe in the duels with other snipers. But of course, Gigantti aren't going to be showing any snipers for them to duel with, and now they're straight onto a point instead.
Yeah, this is very scary for double sniper because Widow can't really do a whole bunch here. She can pick off supports, yes, but hiding in this small choke box here is going to be fairly hard for her to actually do all of anything.
Look at how much Cloudy's shield just covers it. There's no way you can really snipe into that unless you can get a flank around onto LH Cloud. Already 2 ticks have been acquired for Team Gigantti.
And Ripper's here already got a coalescence. The amount of damage these tank takes is a whole bunch, especially when faced against a Hanzo, which is what Leaf exactly was showing us there with a double kill onto LH Cloudy and Ripper. I was going to say, you take a whole bunch of damage, you get off quickly, and that's exactly what Leaf did as well. He does end up going down, but he made his mark. He got a double kill with the Dragons. However, on the defense, rather slow walk back to your first point. So we'll see if Gigantti want to make use of this.
And Super Flute's going to go away from a short walk. He wants to instead move over to the Winston. I think this is a pretty good idea. You're not really protecting anyone with the shield as Orisa because most of the damage from Team Gigantti is short range. They're just daring you to come down onto a point rather than hitting you from afar with stuff like Junkrat grenades or anything from a sniper. And once again, we're going to see the same rotation from Team Gigantti. And Eagle Gaming, they are far more prepared for it this time. They're on top of where they were using as their shelter before.
But they are. Davin now. Zaya and Traitor Specialist is about 90% almost there to that Graviton Surge, and straight in front of that D.Va. That's exactly where he wants to be. That's a whole lot of free charge, and that's a whole big charge as well coming through from the Rhine Master. LH Cloudy does find the D-Mech onto Nico, and Shadow even finds the kill before the mech explodes. Davin with a Graviton Surge, he's going to be able to lay that one out. However, the Dragons splitting them all up for the time being. Still the 2 ticks on the point. They are willing to hold this one out as they do use that Transcendence and commit a whole bunch to it as well. LH Cloudy does end up finding the other support in here. This little boat ends up going down as well. Hardest, he had to do something. Leaf having to do something as well. Might as well take one with him. In fact, 2 as Ripper and Master fall, but the point in the end went to Team Gigantti.
Eagle Gaming there, though, they did use both of their support ultimates to try and hold that one out. So now Team Gigantti moving in, not only will having 3 supports give them a huge edge in terms of healing and sustainability, but they've got the Coalescence as well. Ripper's going to want to use that as early as possible so he can start building up towards the next one when trying to take out Staggers. LH Cloudy also hacking the Earth Shadow, ready to use it on a rainy day.
Hardest switching over to the Pharah this time around. Bilbo's already going to die. Hardest isn't going to have nearly enough protection now. He's extremely low. We're finally seeing Leaf's Doomfist, this guy that was held in very, very high regard for his Doomfist play. He's finally bringing to the fold. However, RCK already finding the kills on Super Fluke and the Pharah is going to leave Leaf with a lot to do in this game. Ripper now healing up the rest of the tanks. This team is so hardy as well because of all the armor that Shadow's generating with that rally. It's going to be incredibly tough for Eagle Gaming as they are trailing in 1 by 1 to actually take them out.
Cloudy can lay down the Shadow at a moment's notice, and he will pick up 2.
Oh no, here bites the dust. There you go. Hog gets pinned in the side as well. The Primal Rage is going to sustain on the point for a little bit.
Almost
there,
all the way there.
The problem is they're about 95% of the way. They're going to tick it over in no time at all. 4 minutes and 23 seconds for Team Gigantti. That 3-3 is also scary. That Lucio just makes it so mobile, so hard to face.
Marsa, a esteemed leader. Sata, the strategist, and LH Cloudy, the captain at the front, leading the charge quite literally. That is a scary combination when you think about how effective Team Gigantti can be with that 3-3 composition. And why do they choose Volskaya? Evidently, it's like their native climate. They're trying to freeze out the Frenchmen, chill their nerves a little bit. Meanwhile, it's not the idyllic French landscape, lovely and warm. That's for a holiday.
I mean, you can go skiing in France too.
You can go oh yeah, of course, in the Alps.
In the Alps.
Mostly idyllic is what I have in my mind.
Mostly sunny lounge there, especially this time of year as well. I can imagine it's fairly nice. Volskaya still looking nice as always, rather industrial if you like that kind of thing. I know Xayah does. Now Gigantti are going to go on the defense and they're going to switch it up. They don't want to run 3-3 anymore. Oh no, Shadow's going to be on the far and Davin on the Widowmaker.
He is. Davin. Question marks over his Widowmaker. We didn't see it for long on Oasis. He had to move back and he had to go onto the Brigitte to try and deal with hardest on the Tracer. So didn't really get much of a showreel there. But here on the defense, Team Gigantti are ready to show it. Once again, it's going to be 2 DPS.
I wonder if Eagle Gaming are going to do the same thing here. We just saw it on Oasis where they would scout out the composition and then instantly turn around and switch up. I wonder if they're going to send hardest out on this Tracer to see what the enemy team are running and then decide what they want to play with there, because they've been doing a good job of just changing their composition each time they see Giganttis. We saw the Pharah change up in this just a second ago on the defense, but they knew that 3-3 is very vulnerable to someone in the skies. They switched up. It was just unfortunate that Little Bo got caught out quite early.
Yeah, Little Bo caught out by the Coalescence. Great tracking coming through from Ripper, showing that he's not just all about the Zenyatta headshots. He could burn people out of the air as well. And we talked about the Icarus story for Eagle Gaming. Pardon the strained metaphor, but they flew a little bit close to the sun when it came to Little Bo, and he suffered for it. But now Eagle Gaming, they're coming out once again with a quad tank. It's a flashback to just one map ago. Hardest is already down, though, a victim of Davin, who's starting off his reign of terror on Widowmaker with promise.
And that's pretty good as well, because Cloudy was doing a lot of damage up on that truck, just enabling him, and Shadow just pelting them with these rockets. Now Eagle Gaming on the retreat. Are they going to change up the comp? That's the question. They are going for this quad tank composition with Leaf on that on the Roadhog instead. I really want to see the Doomfist, I'm not going to lie. It can make Widow's life an absolute nightmare. Problem is, you are again going against the Pharah.
Yeah, Pharah's going to generate a huge amount of ult charge by throwing those rockets into that big mass of meat presented by Eagle Gaming. Yet to get much of their ultimate charges, and Nico's already falling low.
Shadow's already got his ultimate as well, and he's actually going to unleash it. Leaf saves the hook once again. He's got Shadow's number every single time, or at least the Pharah's number every single time.
Oh,
there's the Coalescence onto Davin. Can you doubt this guy's Widowmaker now when he just cleans heads like that? Nico's mech's going to go down as well, but the problem is they've already acquired a tick. 5 members on the point, and Team Gigantti are going to struggle here. 2 squishy members just holding the high ground, and they can't really offense this at all. LH Cloudy's going to have to be the one to sacrifice himself.
The Valkyrie's in, but they need to stick together if they want that chain heal to work, but Superflute's going to be removing him from the fray.
He is, and that does mean that they are going to be a little dislodged here. Davin just peeking at 45 HP. He's going to have to be careful. Right click. Alley-up from Artist is going to find a kill in the end, and LH Cloudy is going to go down. Shadow, without the healing from his Mercy here, is going to be in a little bit of trouble, but that Transcendence coming out from River, keeping them alive for the time being. They are wasting a whole bunch of it here, but remember, that spawn time from Team Gigantti is going to be more punishing for them. Shadow cleaning up the rest of the members of Eagle Gaming, though. It looks so good for them. They did acquire 2 ticks, but they've only got 2 minutes to remain.
Individual clutch. That's all I can really say about that fight from Team Gigantti. Shadow, Ripper, Davin, all coming up huge, denying the Coalescence with a headshot. Hip's almost there to another one, and Davin is going to be there to deny it instantly. Instead, he's going to be on the Junkrat instead. And one of the things you need to be wary of when you've got a Coalescence out is that Moira can't use her phase, so she does become a huge target to the enemy team when that happens.
Graviton Surge on a solo target, and they do manage to find a lot of damage on RCK, and now LH Cloudy does end up falling as well. Shadow, another rocket barrage available. You are spamming into tanks. You will get that fairly quickly.
The hook.
Beautiful hook from Leaf taking out Ripper. That's a lot of that healing now down for Team Gigantti. Yet again, Shadow goes for the more risky rocket barrage and gets punished for it once more. Artist now just burning people up with that laser beam, and he's going to be able to clear out the rest of the point. There we go. And another 3rd tick is going to be completed. 1 minute to remain. Is going to now bounce over the far.
Another stat to contextualize just how dangerous Hardest is. At 100 charge, Xayah's left click does 190 damage per second, one of the highest DPS weapons in the game.
Coalescence. Riptide coming from nowhere. Oh, coming from somewhere.
The delivery from Nico.
Self-destruct delivered straight on top of the platform. Hook only narrowly missing from lead. He's getting bullied at the moment by that Primal Raging Winston and the Far alike as well. In fact, he can't really sit still, but he's still managing to hit a lot of shots. So Ripper just gives him the swift boot, the kick down to put him on the floor and put him in his place. Leaf ends up falling, and that's Team Gigantti pushing Eagle Gaming all the way back, making sure they have no points of interest.
Ripper had enough of his bacon fighting back, but Eagle Gaming, they're going to be reasonably happy with this. They only invested the self-destruct and now they're starting to build up yet another ultimate bank. They'll be able to combine the Graviton Surge with the Whole Hog potentially. Superfluke will be able to swing into that, quickly build himself up towards... Oh, they really need to watch out for a boop here.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Shadow. Run! Oh, run! No, they're all on that tiny platform. They have to scatter. Superfluke's going to go down. I think this might just be free ult charge for Team Gigantti, in all honesty. RCK is going to take out 2. Yep, a quick reset there from Nico. That was terrifying. As soon as they spotted him out, they knew what was going to happen.
Well, you can't fault them for inventiveness, but Shadow had it figured out. Just sent the dragon down there, and Lil Bo, he was just like, nah, mate, I'm out. You guys can deal with this.
See ya.
I'm just going to swerve this way. I'm just going to peace.
It was quite funny seeing the Lucio like, I've got a feeling something really bad's going to happen. I'm going to jump off the side.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Exactly, and I'm just going to get out of dodge real fast. Now they've only got 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Quite a worth of a time bank, but RCK has got another role. He's going to have to be very careful with this one. It's not Shadow this time around, obviously switching over to that Hanzo. Leaper's going to find the kill onto Shadow, but RCK doing a good job and now melting the tanks, but they're melting them a lot quicker on the side of Eagle Gaming. Eaten all up is the Rocket Barrage, does manage to find the mech. However, with Shadow spawning now, he's going to have to make a big impact in this game. However, triple DPS does mean work to this front line, especially when you've got 2 projectile heroes. 2 ticks now has been acquired for Eagle Gaming. Nowhere near that Graviton Surge, but apparently it doesn't even matter. Hard is now 100 charge and continuing to be there. So much damage and so much pressure is he putting out on this Xayah. Can't quite find the last little tick until RCK finally falls down. However, they are still contesting the point. Team Gigantti, every member they do end up killing here is another one that has to walk so many meters towards that point.
Plenty CPS when you have hardest on a fully charged Xayah. Lilbo trying to go for the Sombra duel now, but Cloudy, he's taking matters into his own hands, into his own large slapping fists, and Eagle Gaming sent with their tail feathers between their legs.
Yep, doesn't like Master switching over. Unfortunately, not to the Sombra, not staying on the Sombra. He's switching over to the Mercy and Davin back onto that Junkrat. They did need to make sure they got back to the point rather quickly. So Sombra, Tracer, any one of the above will help you do that. Now RCK continues his reign of terror. They are going to send a Diva Bomb in, try and get it in the sky to try and hit RCK, but doesn't seem to land on all of anything. Graviton does suck him in there, and that's a lot of damage from Hardness as well. A couple of right clicks is going to end his existence. And a 1:49 time bank will be the victory spoils for Eagle Gaming.
Perfectly placed Graviton Surge Air from Hardest, dragging in 3 members who are quickly cleaned up by the combination of high energy Xayah beams, the micro missiles coming through from Nico, and the remainder of the damage from Superfluke as well, swinging into that. And they only had to deal with 1 tick, so they knew, okay, let's just get rid of Cloudy first of all, because Cloudy doesn't have a co-tank. When he goes in, he's got 500 HP, and a dream that is quickly snuffed out by the incoming French armada of tanks. And Team Gigantti, they just couldn't hold against how much damage was being proffered by Eagle Gaming. They knew that they had time to try and build up towards some ultimates, but Gigantti were down on them as well. They could just throw in the support ultimates and the Graviton Surge and see what they could get. They only needed a tick.
You got to remember that on this Pharah, it is sustained damage coming out from this hero rather than quick burst like the Hanzo, like the Widowmaker. So they're not going to be able to erase targets very quickly. It is very sustainable, and you can obviously damage boost it do a whole bunch. But the problem is, if the healing is there from Eagle Gaming, or a sound barrier, or a transcendence, even just having these AoE healers, it just makes Pharah's job a whole lot harder. Yes, she can get ult quickly, and she just has to rely on those other teammates like Davin on the Junkrat and like the Hanzo as well to actually finish off the rest of the targets.
Team Gigantti, however, still have a commanding lead in the time bank, so Eagle Gaming have to attack again, and once more it will be the quadruple tank rolling out of spawn with Hep and Lilbo supporting from the back with the Moira and Lucio. Those are going to be the main targets for Shadow and Davin as they watch these tanks roll in.
Yep, Shadow's going to have a bird's eye view of it all, and Eagle Gaming did say to me that this meta does suit them extremely well. And you can kind of see why. They are trying a lot of a variable of compositions, and it is working out fairly well for them so far. Team Gigantti proving that Voscar Industries is clearly their map to start off with. 4 minutes staying in the time bank. Only 1 minute remaining though for Eagle Gaming now, and Davin will be able to snipe them across the way. However, again, it's very hard to take out anybody on this Widowmaker unless their supports, they get healed up so quickly. And with a Discord Orb on Superfluke, he is going to just erase him, as Shatter is going to just kill him from the skies. Nice that we use the boot rocket there to push the D.Va back as well, but a hook does land on the mech, and that's a whole lot of HP now not available for Team Gigantti to soak up. Shadow's doing a good job, and even Davin working his way to an imprecise. 50 seconds only remain, and there's only a couple of healers left on the point, and their lives are ending rather fast.
Gigantti well aware that they can prioritize damage onto Superfluke, and after that shield is gone, Eagle Gaming have very little in the means of consistent protection, and they become a big old ball of ult charges. You can see from across the entire party of Team Gigantti. Basically 6 ults ready to go. RCK lagging a little bit further behind, but he'll be joining them very soon. And this is going to be such a tough nut to crack. It's all going to be down to Hardest. He's 88% of the way towards a Graviton Surge. It's all about the man on the Zarya.
He needs to find a huge play. There is the time ticking down. 15 seconds, and Hipper's already dead. Shadow comes in. He has that rocket barrage. He doesn't want to get hooked out of the air just yet. The Graviton Surge was there, but problem was they run straight into a Transcendence. He's still doing a whole lot of damage if Superfluke's going to fall. That will be Eagle Gaming losing both two tanks there. Nico and Hardest are the only ones left, but Davin is soon to kill them off. The D.Va is going to drop to the floor. Shadow's going to die as well, but Davin jumping up, finding the last kill onto RCK just to erase him. And the problem is, we called him. We said he was a Tracer player. He's clearly been practicing his Widowmaker, because that was just a show reel of headshots.
Is Davin good at Widowmaker? Davin's good at Widowmaker. I'm pretty sure Davin is okay at Widowmaker.
Definitely add that one to his hero pool, that is for certain. And now Eagle Gaming have to defend for 4 minutes and 20 seconds, and they didn't even acquire a tick. So they are now going to have to defend also bravely against Team Gigantti, who took the first point in quick succession last time around.
Yeah, Team Gigantti managed to take it in but 2 tries, and Eagle Gaming, they had a couple of swap-ups, of course. They swapped over from the Orisa onto the Winston. Superfluke's going to be doing just that once more. He wants to make sure that if Team Gigantti try and hide in that mini health pack room again, that he can drop down with his leap still available, get cleave onto 6 members, quickly build up towards that Primal Rage, because it's incredibly valuable when you're moving against the GOAT's composition of a 3-3. That's because it doesn't do a huge amount of damage. All it can do is remove the Reinhardt from the mix, or it can remove a singular player far away from the protection of those tanks. And that means they are easy to take down. And once you take down one member of the GOAT's composition, it can start to fall apart, especially the Reinhardt or the Moira.
Well, they are rolling with Leaf on the Hanzo this time, and Hardest on the Widowmaker. So, second time's a charm on defense. Taking that double sniper. We'll see what Team Gigantti want to roll out the door with, but it does look like a 3-3 is in order.
And Leaf's going to be busy trying to build up towards that Dragon Strike rather quickly. And Marsa may well be the early victim of some incoming sniper fire here. They can be caught out away from shields when they do go for those wall rides. For Lucio, it's just inherent in the nature that they are a little bit slippery, even for their own Reinhardt to protect.
Yeah, and they're fairly predictable on their course as well. They are sliding across the walls. It's a very generic path that they do follow. Fairly same. Team Gigantti are taking exactly the same route. He's doing a good job of just trying to punish the tanks to start off with, but the problem is, hasn't got a very large health pool, and if the tank does get on top of him, he's going to be in a whole world of trouble. Already a tiny bit of a percent acquired for Team Gigantti, but they have lost Shadow already, so that's a lot of healing down. And look at Leaf's positioning here, it's so aggressive, can actually just rain death from above, just straight behind the shield. However, Davin is at a complete enough of it all. Nico is going to fall as well, and RCK is going to find another. Ripper finds the first ultimate of the game in the Coalescence, and he's going to kill him. Problem is, Hardest has killed Davin, but can they just sustain through this? Leaf did get the Dragons and has sent them out, but there's so many tanky targets still available for Team Gigantti.
Massa took out Superfluke over into the Icy Lake. He cannot be resurrected, and they're so close to claiming the first tick.
Massa got 3 kills, 2 boops, and finished off the Mercy in the air. All said and done, Gigantti ended that so fast. 3-3. They've been working on that composition for a while, it seems. They can pull it off flawlessly. Eagle Gaming now on the ropes. Gigantti now have match point.
Everyone on the side of Gigantti frags out. Ripper, Massa, supports. Just DPS in disguise.
Exactly. I do like Marso. He's inventive ways to boot people off the edge, and he's extremely well versed in the Lucio too. He's working out wonders for his team. Shatter seems like a perfect addition to the squad as well. We're going to take a quick break, guys. We'll be back with map number 4 very soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eagle Gaming versus Gigantti. Gigantti right now, match point 2-1 versus Eagle, as Voskai did go their way. And now we are going on to Escort. I hope we're seeing Rialto again. It's a wonder to cast in.
We can dream.
We can dream, we can hope, but we'll find out in a moment. Flexibility is the name of the game, this meta, and that's exactly what Gigantti and Eagle Gaming are showing us already. And
not just be able to flex between heroes, but you've got to be able to flex between map picks as well, because of course, when you have the upper hand and you win a match, the opponent will be picking, and yes, we are raising our fists to jubilation. It is Rialto. So get out your yoga mats, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to work on that flexibility to make sure you can take any situation that comes at you and do your best with it.
Yes. Not only do I really like this map aesthetically, the music's also pretty nice too. I'm not gonna
have a listen to that.
Soothing, Italian waves.
It's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
You want to take me on a romantic holiday?
Not really. Robotic gondolas though, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not taking you though. We'll go on one each and then just sail past each other. They should buy me one of those speedboats. I'm down.
Be like the end of Batman when you see the meet in the cafe in Italy.
Oh dear. Those robotic gondolas, I'm so happy you can kill the little driver things as well.
Jesus Christ. You'll just kill anything, Jaws. If it doesn't move, Jaws is incredibly proud of his record against training bots.
DPS,
I have such a good KD in training range. That's Jaws true. 2018.
So those bots have only killed me once. Those pesky things.
Only once.
I had to get my revenge somehow. Gigantti on the defense, Eagle Gaming on the offense. Now, we've seen a little bit of Rialto already, and it was a very Faro-centric map earlier on today, and it doesn't look like exactly what Team Gigantti are going to go for again. This time, though, a bit of a different flavour to that comp. They are going triple tank with Shadow as the solo DPS, and they have Ripper for the AoE heals for the tanks.
Yeah, I am all about this Gigantti composition. We're going double main healer. It's going to be all about pocketing Shadow in the sky. And we talked about it earlier with Eichenwald, but also with Rialto. You can play these defensive maps so well with Faro because of the architectural support you have to give you cover from Widowmakers and Hanzo, so that you can try and peek out again and again and always vary up your verticality so they aren't sniping in the same place. But Team Gigantti are going to be lacking for a defensive ultimate, so they could be very vulnerable to incoming Graviton Surges, which are going to be supplied in earnest by Hardest.
Oh man, look at that beautiful architecture that we're seeing right now. Is that a StarCraft poster? It looks like it, I don't know. They're going to move around the corner though. Quad tank for Eagle Gaming. And Lilbo on the Moira and Lucio respectively. Yeah,
Shadow's
spotted Shadow.
there.
However, double main healer does mean a lot of healing on the side of Team Gigantti for Shadow to absorb. Already at 40%, mind you, 50%. I'm not going to even bother counting, it's going to go up too quickly.
Shadows can be fearless here as well, because the only person as you saw who can challenge him out is Nico, who has to fly up into the air and already. Oh, the hook will do though.
Oh, the massive boop as well. Davin
Great defensive play.
RCK just came in and booped Roadhog out of the way just to make sure Shadow doesn't get one shot. They know exactly where he needs to be. Another hook.
And the defense matrix, RCK did it again.
Oh,
the Guardian Angel.
RCK, another support, does lose his mech in the process though. Nico is going to claim it and Leaf actually finds a victim in LH Cloudy, but Shadow stays alive, and Rocket Barrage 1 has already got 25% to another one.
Shadow's going to be slipping RCK a 5 for both of those saves, making sure that his trusty
a bit more than that.
Well, 5 or 8, 10.
Oh, okay. 10.
And now RCK has earned his way back to a mech, so he's going to be ready to receive the next push here. Remember, this was Eagle Gaming's choice, and they are rolling out with this quad tank that's been working so well for them thus far. Lilbo's ready to supply them with the overshield from the sound barrier, should it be required. But Davin, he has the Graviton Surge ready to go, and there it is.
There's the grab, straight on top of 2 tanks. There's the bomb, boom, big explosion. Doesn't find all of anything though, it still looks nice in the air. RCK still playing support, still holding that right click for every single left click of Leafs. Just going to roll on through them now. Little boat here, they all bite the dust. There's no way they're going to escape that. Gigantti holding steadfast. Shadow still with that rocket barrage. There's no way he's not going to build up those 1 per fight at this moment. Leaf, Eagle Gaming, they're not switching up here. They are just determined to make this quad tank work. I mean, they've got ults now to work with.
Given the nature of damage that can come from a quad tank composition, you can see exactly why RCK, his primary concern here is mitigating Leaf, because he can bring out the most burst damage, and there comes the barrage, which is quite a bit of burst damage itself.
Not matched with the hook this time, but it's matched with a coalescence, and Leaf just getting that right click. Davin now moving forwards, just making sure he can get a lot of charge, and that is a lot of charge he will obtain because of all the spam coming out from Eagle Gaming. They're about 2 apiece right now, but Leaf finally doing a lot of work, but they are now forced into a tight corridor with LH Cloudy. That is definitely not where you want to be for the Rhine Master. Davin is building very, very quickly up to that Graviton Surge as well. They're going to have another fight before this next point.
And not only that, Hardest had to invest the Graviton Surge there, so that's a tool that's going to be unavailable for Eagle Gaming as they move forward. Meanwhile, Davin's going to be sitting pretty on his. He's ready to lay it into the midst of Eagle if Nico can't eat it.
Yep, there's the whole hog blowing everybody back. The Shatter's going to hit the floor and actually send one to the ground. Davin has still got that Graviton Surge. He needs to be able to pull it out, but they need to wait for that defense matrix to go down. He does manage to get it. He finds the hook to make sure RCK can't do a lot of damage, but it's still going to unleash that self-destruct. And LH Cloudy narrowly takes, or well, almost takes a dunk in the water there, but is going to manage to survive. And you can see the left leg master does get the 4-man Earth Shatter. They're going to move forward. No one's going to be able to backcap that car either. Too many massive bodies from Gigantti on there. And Nico, he finally takes a small barge down this down the long stream that is on Rialto, and hey, he's going to go for another spawn. Eagle Gaming probably want to switch something up here. Leaf now switching over to the butcher.
Hardest has built himself up towards another Graviton Surge, but Team Gigantti, they're going to be able to be proactive with the support cooldowns. Ripper ready to come out with a coalescence a moment's notice. So Valkyrie can be used to fly high above and keep him out of the grasping tendrils of the black hole.
So intelligent Graviton Surge there on the wall, so it can't be eaten. Davin's going to go down already, and the self-destruct is launched straight over the bridge. Doesn't find any casualties just yet, and a big res onto Davin is going to bring him back into the fight, only narrowly getting it. Graviton Surge nearly available for Davin now as well. Hardest trying to build up to his as quick as possible. It is in overtime already, but Davin's unleashed it. They've got so much armor as well from Shadow, who's recently changed over to the Brigitte. Also, Eagle Gaming, they're struggling to kill all of anybody here. They've got too much HP. Davin's sitting at 500 for God's sake. He's still moving forward. A beat might just keep them in this fight, but it looks too little too late for them as Davin is still alive and 50% away to another charge.
3 Gravitons used in this fight. Davin's going to try and clean it up. LH Cloudy's being beset upon on all sides, but a resurrection onto Shadow.
Another resurrection. How is this man getting these up so quickly? Leaf is going to hit the floor, and LH Cloudy, in fact, I'm going to join them. This fight is going on for about 2 minutes. Overtime wasn't quite enough for Eagle Gaming to actually finish the first cap. Gigantti hold on the first one, and Eagle Gaming, this was their map choice, remember. Clearly had some strategy in their back pockets, but it was all Davin and Shadow that game.
I think the strategy of a quad tank has been figured out by Team Gigantti here on the defense. We saw Shadow moved over despite all of the damage that he was getting on the Pharah. to that Brigitte, and it seemed to pay off in spades because it meant they had a much easier time controlling Super Fluke. And when Super Fluke is controlled, LH Cloudy gets to play.
That he does, and with that as well, he not only gets back to the point fairly quickly using that short cooldown on the shield bash, provides a whole lot of additional healing, and you saw how quickly he got rally up too. As soon as they're rallied,
Swing into a meatball.
David has 500 HP. It's horrible. He is a meat tenderizer in All West, and Gigantti now on the offense. Eagle Gaming, they're going to have to defend for their lives here. They are so close to losing the series and not going to that tiebreaker map.
The great French avian has had its wings clipped here, but it's struggling still to try and bring us forth to the first 5th map of Overwatch Contenders Season 2, 2018. Gigantti, they're looking to stop that right here. They look to be coming out potentially with the 3-2-1. But we'll probably see them swap over towards the Ghost Comp that we saw on Voskyr entries. Why not? It works out well for them. They can build up an ultimate advantage. And we've got to talk about win conditions here, Jaws. They need to get 1 point.
1 point. One small cap.
Who we will see later at 1 point.
Oh, yeah.
Going up against We Have Orc. Stay tuned.
Meanwhile, though, Gigantti versus Eagle Gaming, and Eagle Gaming pulling off something rather sneaky here, maybe using their little bow speed boost to try and get behind Gigantti as they do move around this corner. They're going to have to be rather quiet, though. No voice lines. No press V. Oh, wait, that's...
Oh, the quiet is cancelled.
Oh, okay, they're just running to the spawn.
This is a loud Motorhead concert right now.
This is very loud.
Full decibels.
Davin was like, nope, not running into 4 of them.
That's a hard pass.
Oh, hard pass straight onto LH Cloudy 2. He's going to dash straight back. This does mean they get a couple of fights, mind you, because they are pushed rather far up.
And ult charge as well. Super Fluke's already halfway there. Look how quickly he's moving up towards this Earth Shadow. He's almost got it already.
Davin gets moved back, didn't even find the pin. Marsa ends up securing the kill. Leaf just trying his hardest right now to try and find something. Couldn't quite get the hook, but they are delaying a lot of time.
They may well have doomed themselves here as well, because this means that Team Gigantti will have got all of this damage as they move forward to feed into their ult banks. Shadow has the rally to make Davin all the more fortified with that armor, slipping under 200 shields. All of that shield has armor mitigation to it as well, which means that he's going to be very hard in the face of Nico, who uses small arms fire, will only do half as much damage to Davin. And already Eagle Gaming, they're swapping up. Hip is moving over to the Zenyatta. They need that Discord Orb to try and get through such hardy targets.
You're going to die pretty quickly, is what you're trying to say. LH Cloudy has that shadow. There's the rally. Coalescence coming out as well. They are moving around the corner using that speed boost from Marsa. Disengaging for the time being. Remember that rally is in an AoE. Speaking about AoE, LH Cloudy gets sent to the ground. Counter Shadow coming out from Eagle Gaming does cancels Cloudy's. Davin's still working up towards the Graviton Surge. However, they are going to be able to get another fight in. A very swift, decisive call from Eagle Gaming is going to win them the fight for now.
Desperately attempting to escape here are the remnants of Gigantti, but Leaf is giving them no quarter. Marsa's caught out as he tries to leave. Davin's going to have no energy to play with. And Gigantti back to the drawing board. But the drawing board currently has a load of nice crayon illustrations on it in the form of beautiful blue ticks at the top. Davin ready to go with a Graviton Surge, and they can wait out Eagle Gaming's ult bank here. They're going to have to make hardest, use his Graviton, and then if they can make Hip use for Transcendence as well, they'll have a clear path forwards. 2 minutes remain, they have time to play with.
Graviton Surge on the side of the wall. Self-destruct is going to come out. LHK is going to have to block it in a double block with the shield as well. Wasn't quite enough. A pin onto Shadow. Kills him off, and that looked also good for Gigantti for a split second there, but somehow the self-destruct did end up killing him, even though Davin used both bubbles on him and LH Cloudy.
Not only that, but the charge from Super Fluke, or rather from LH, from Super Fluke, managed to knock Shadow off the cliff, so we got a little bit of extra damage to build up towards yet another Earth Shadow.
They're going for another fight, Harry. Coalescence coming out from Gigantti. They still have that Graviton Surge as well, but Hodges is already going to eliminate Shadow. Do they just rinse and repeat here? Do they just go back off? Graviton Surge used on the corner of the building. This self-destruct not quite finding anything either, although I take that back as it did actually end up killing Nico's mech. Tempo is... that word's out the window. It's been erased from the dictionary, both in French, Finnish, Romanian, and English, apparently.
Well, tempo may well have been reduced from the dictionary, but staccato is going to be what the kills are here, one after another. Piece by piece, Super Fluke is going to be chunked down by Shadow coming in with that flail.
They've only got 50 seconds remaining as well. That is a sound barrier usage from Eagle Gaming and another Graviton Surge. They're going to sound barrier in response as Ripper finds 2 with the orb somehow. Bounce off the high top roofs and managed to take 2 kills out. Gigantti with 40 seconds remaining, trying to find the kill Leaf. They end up getting it. Eagle Gaming, are they going to be able to get another fight 4 members, 5 members on the payload to push it as fast as possible, but they're going to have to hold rather far up to make sure Eagle Gaming can't set up.
Once again, Shadow ready with the rally. Ripper looking to bring out the Coalescence shortly as well. Eagle Gaming are basically running on empty. Maybe Hip and Nico can get their ultimate, so they need to make a move now to try and take us to a 5th map.
Coalescence and the rally have been unleashed on Gigantti. They are 4-5 hardy boys. There is their self-destruct. It's going to destroy the shield of Shadow, but he's still going to be able to move forward. That's Shadow jumping up, reveals your feet. You get knocked to the ground. Shadow's dead. Master's going to follow him as well, and a rally from Eagle Gaming is going to keep them alive. Are they going to go to a map 5 here, Harry? It could be a possibility. LH Cloudy, the Rhine God, ends up getting them an RCK with another self-destruct, finds 2. Where does this guy even get his mechs? They must definitely not be from the discount store, that is for sure. A Graviton Surge coming out from Gigantti to lock them all in place. They do not want to go to map number 5. They want to end it right here, right now. Hip hopping over to the Tracer to make sure he can make most and maximum value out of the hero to keep the game alive, but it wasn't quite enough. Gigantti ends Rialto with only 1 point secured. 3-1 in the series, and they find their first win in Contenders.
But boy, was it a struggle. Who would win out of a 1 Earthshadow and 5 Hardy Boys? Apparently the 5 Hardy Boys, but they had their money really given a run for their money, is what I was trying to say. Words are hard.
Words are hard. That game is incredibly tough for both sides. Both went to overtime, so close to delivering a word. Eagle Gaming and adding additional time to their time bank, and Gigantti was so close as well. It all came down to those rallies at the end and how quickly the coalescences were built up as well.
Yeah, it really came up to ult generation. It was just so fast for both teams because of the huge health pools on display when you have that much healing and that much tanking.
So hard was that game. And we're going to take a short breather. We're going to jump to a quick break. The analysts are going to break down those further 2 games a little bit more.